I do think we lose our podcast card if we don't talk about Joe Rogan for 5 minutes this week.
I don't want to talk anymore about Joe Rogan unless you want me to. I mean, if you want me to say fuck Joe Rogan every few minutes, I will. I love that the CEO of Spotify had to send an apology to his employees. Like, look, I'm sorry. I did not mean for us to take this much heat. I didn't know it was going to be this bad.
Right, because they paid him like a shit ton of money to
They
be on
paid
their
him
service.
$100 million.
But that check's already
last
cleared, so
year.
we're stuck.
Yep.
Joe Rogan has $100 million?
He has $100 million.
To buy what? Protein shakes?
Yes.
And horse tranquilizer?
Protein
Freedom.
shakes and cocaine.
What is that
Freedom in
douchebag gonna
bulk.
do with $100 million?
Barrels
spread
of freedom.
misinformation.
And he still can't afford like real adult clothes?
He still can't buy a neck.
He has like a warehouse full of like toys, like cars and workout gear and like sensory deprivation tank and just like
one of those things is not like the other. One of those things doesn't belong.
My favorite Joe Rogan thing from the last couple of weeks was the one that's got the picture of him in the hot tub looking like the weird fucking pointy nipples that he's got. And someone said, it's like, Joe Rogan looks like the guy in the Batman movie. He yells, "It's the Bat!" And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Hey, boss, it's the Bat!
The Bat!
Well, now we don't have to talk about Rogan on the podcast. I'll cut together 30 seconds to go on the bumper in front.
Episode 371 of the TV Dudes, recorded February 9th, 2022. Well, that I didn't expect. This week, we have shows that are offering up some surprises, like the talking CGI penis in Hulu's Pam and Tommy, the decision Alien Harry comes to after his change of heart in Season 2 of Resident Alien on Peacock, or the surprises sprung on all the guest stars in Murderville on Netflix. There are also big reveals on Peacemaker, and maybe not so many surprises in the finale of Book of Boba Fett. But, before we get to all that, I'm Randy.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Les.
And I'm Silent Penis Nick.
And we're the TV Dudes. Y'all, if someone had told me, a couple of years ago when I first saw Jason Mantzoukas, like one day that man is going to voice the CGI penis of Tommy Lee from Motley Crue, I would have said, yeah, that actually sounds about right.
That's one of those ones from the future you go, oh, he was born to do it.
It was the job he was born to do. Yeah.
No, that was destiny.
I just can't wait till they release the bonus scenes and we get to see the dots on his face as he did the mocap for it.
Yeah, you can't do the voiceover unless you do the mocap with it. So there's definitely he definitely played the penis with the gesticulation. Man, that was wild. We're gonna talk about it, but first we're gonna, as always, talk about the stuff that we're watching, and let's talk about our TV diaries.
The Diaries of the Television Dudes. Brought to you by only the finest cocaine wine.
I'll kick things off this week. I continued my rewatch of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We're to season 6. Got to the young Hitchcock and Skelly episode, which was very, very fun.
Well, that has Jack Reacher
Speaking
in it.
of Jack Reacher.
Yep, it does.
Which
And
one
it
is
was
he?
funny
Is he Scully or Hitchcock?
I think he's Skelly, but I can never tell the two of them apart. So
Sure.
no, he's Hitchcock. Hitchcock's the one who sings, right?
Yeah,
With the
no,
crew
cut?
Scully's
Scully.
the one who sings. Hitchcock is the
Okay,
gross
then he is-
cuck guy.
Then he's Scully. Hitchcock is another dude who I don't know who he was. Kept up with Grand Crew, which I'm still really digging. Watched the next episode of Superman and Lois, where I really like what they're doing with Bizarro. It's an interesting take, and I'm still not sure about this whole Defense Department being a dick thing, but overall, I'm digging it. I watched the next 3 episodes of Legend of Vox Machina, which of course we'll talk about next week, and I watched all of Reacher, which we'll also talk about next week. I watched the first 2 episodes of Suspicion, which is the new Apple show with Noah Emmerich. It's about a British teenager or an American teenager who's kidnapped by British nationals, and so they pull these 4 people together who they think did the job. The first episode's a very weird interrogation thing. The second one started to hook me a little bit more. Kyle, you're gonna love this thing because it's British and crimey. I think you're gonna dig it. I'm not sure if I'll finish it, but because Noah Emmerich was in it, and I like him so much, it reminded me that I haven't seen the last season or two of The American, so I decided to start my American season 5 watch. Somehow I've not been spoiled on the ending, even though it's been over for I don't know, a decade. So I'm excited to go back and as
Russia doesn't win. Oh, sorry.
what? Oh, son of a bitch!
No, Rocky fixes the Cold War. Sorry.
I thought it was gonna be like Inglourious Bastards, where things change, where there was a changed history thing.
Actually, I don't know. I've never seen the show.
But I went back to it and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I really like this show. It's a little slow, it's a little dark, but it is really good performance and stuff. So, other than homework, that is all that I watched this week. Les, what about you?
So I have also been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which has been great fun. Been watching my way through Billions, which Fanny also got into, and has been
Hell
super
yeah.
fun. It is odd watch like a lot of shows like Damages, and there's been several shows in the last few years whose first seasons are this prestige television thing, and then they settle into like the best season of Suits, or like and like you can kind of feel Billions settling into like a great lesser show than that first season, just only on the fact that you have such smart characters, and to keep a show this exciting going, they have to keep making some dumb decisions at some point. Like they've got to not learn an emotional lesson.
So you're saying it's the point in the show where they haven't hired Scott Buck yet, but
they haven't slowed it down yet. Because like by the end of season 2, I can already feel Axe like, damn man, it's like you're getting more emotional. Like you're getting worse at this. But it's fucking great. Definitely you can see why you hire Paul Giamatti and Damian Lewis to do things. Like you could give these guys anything to do and it's going to be fucking captivating for a minute. I also love the actor that plays
Dan
Wags.
Soder. Sorry.
It's been great. They just introduced the character of Taylor, who I think stays on the show going forward. I hope. Fucking love them.
Oh yeah, right before you fell off is when they introduced that character in real life.
Okay.
Or in like the time of the show. Back when you were watching it before you were like, nah.
So I watched a couple episodes of Great News, which is a sitcom over on Netflix that I've loved. 30 Rock, also got Tina Fey on both of those. And just like that, finished up, and it definitely ended a season of television. Watched Legends of Tomorrow, which is goofy as fuck and still on the air somehow. I love it. Then the homework, of course. Peacemaker, of course. Nick and I watched part of Sharks of the Corn. I'm sorry, Stephen Kang's Sharks of the Corn. And Randy, I want to pause a moment and let this statement sink in so that you really get the full depth of this.
Yeah, put a pause on the timer here because you really need to process this.
Abandoned watching a movie.
Oh.
At 30 minutes in, Sharks of the Corn was too shitty for us to get through.
Wow. Okay. Good to
The
know.
magnitude of that fucking statement.
If anyone here is listening, like is new, you don't understand how significant that statement is.
I would rewatch Shark Exorcist before I would watch all of Sharks of the Corn.
Same.
That is fucking crazy talk. So to get over that, we watched Sheborg, which is amazing, and basically of the like Psycho Gorman type universe. It's a fucking great movie. Sheborg, I would absolutely recommend. Then we also watched Dave Made a Maze, which is great. Very different movie than Sheborg, but whimsy. The homework, like Pam and Tommy, Murderville, we'll talk about all that in a bit. Of course, Crimson Tide for Patreon. And that's about it.
Okay. Kyle?
Yeah. So I watched The Homework, obviously. Which quite a bit of good stuff. In terms of like thinking back what I really liked this week, actually it's probably the stuff we're going to talk about later. But also watched Kimmel. Colbert took the week off. Peacemaker, Boba Fett, obviously. I'm sticking with the Afterparty. Oh my gosh.
Man. Yeah, I watched the Afterparty too. It's so good.
Gosh, it's super good. I'm still standing by Pivoting. I like that show. I get it.
Somebody has to.
In the minority, but I'm still digging it. And they cute episode this week. Grand Crew is still just amazing. And then something kind of weird. This is like a YouTube thing I've been watching, But there's this guy who does Toy Galaxy, kind of like video essays, but a lot of like 70s and 80s, 90s toy related type things. And I watched this great one this week about why we don't have Saturday morning cartoons anymore. And it's kind of sad. The reason is because we have way better stuff. We can just watch cartoons whenever we want. But it is kind of a bummer to think
Oh,
like,
I just thought it was streaming.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
essentially there's streaming and cable television and Cartoon Network before that were really kind of the, the final days of Saturday morning cartoons. But yeah, we'll never have that again because we have something so much better. I don't know. It's like, kind of weird. Kind of makes you feel bad. Kind of makes you feel good. I don't know, like a weird Twilight Zone ending. But yeah, outside of that, that's yeah, pretty much all I got to this week.
All right, Nick, what you got?
Well, as Les said, we watched Sharks the Corn for a minute, and
30 of them.
I was trying to remember what was the last movie I didn't finish, and I think the last one I remember was 10 years ago in Iron Man 2, and because the girl I was dating at the time whispered to me, "Let's go fuck instead of watching this boring movie," and I was like, "Yeah, let's do it."
It was not a better than sex.
It was not.
Like, I'm not saying it's the bottom of the MCU, but I'm saying it is not better than.
But then again, that was the second time I had seen it, so it was still like not like 'cause I don't know if it was the first time. I would have been like, maybe it'll get better.
Hang on, I think he's building electric whips, honey.
Hold on, you don't have faith.
Yeah, it's dumb he doesn't have a helmet. He'll get one at the end.
Sure. I watched Dave Made a Maze, which I really like, except for the very end message. I feel like it's kind of arty near the end rather than ridiculous. I watched Close Range, a Scott Adkins movie where he beats up cartel members. Sheborg, obviously. I think this name says it all there. I watched Vox Machina, the next 3 episodes. They're doing that dumb thing that Arcane did where they're dropping 3 at a time. I don't know why that bothers me so much, but, like, why not just drop it all for a binge then, if that's what you're gonna do? I don't understand. But I like it. There's something missing. I'm not sure what it is yet, but that's keeping me from loving it, but we'll talk about it next week and hopefully I'll figure it out. Oh, Les, we forgot about Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes. We watched that.
Oh, yes. Yes, I got Nick to watch my favorite thing from Fantastic Fest, Beyond the Infinite, or, well, definitely a tie for my favorite thing. Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes, which is available on Amazon. It's about an hour-long time travel movie. It's fucking adorable.
Yeah, it's I like an idea of a whole group of people that are too afraid of a paradox to, like, change their future. Like, well, wait, what if we destroy time? But let's keep fucking around with it, though.
They're not smart enough to not fuck with it, but they are terrified to break causality once they start. And so it's one of those, like, you're just smart enough to know that you probably should think of some safety features here, but not smart enough to, like, not mess with this thing in the first place.
Yeah, and then I started watching the rest of the Rick and Morty that I for the new season since it finally dropped on Hulu.
Oh, did it? I'll have to check that out at some point.
Yeah, I only saw it today, so I didn't even know it was. I thought it was still an HBO exclusive. So.
Oh my gosh. Did you like it? I was really digging this season.
Oh,
Story Train.
I just got done with the Thanksgiving episode with the turkey pardon thing, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is dumb even by Rick and Morty standards." This is fucking ridiculous, and it was awesome. Timothy Oliphant plays a military turkey in it, so.
Oh yeah, like it's pretty much like Aliens, but they're all turkeys.
And then I watched, Mupdate. It's not a movie or a TV show, but Les did send me what if Dune, Timothy Chalamet was Elmo in Dune.
Yes.
It's just the Gom Jabbar scene, but it's so good.
I only have 2 questions, and that one is, why would someone think of that? And 2, when can I watch the rest of this?
I really do. I want the whole 2.5 hours of like Elmo no want to put hand in box.
No, Elmo not want to put hand in there. Does Elmo have to?
Dune did just nominated for Best Picture, so maybe there's a room for a Muppet Dune out there.
Yeah, and
Alright.
also any primary color in that universe is of welcome change.
There was one other thing I saw, not a show per se, but did you guys catch the trailer for the Orville?
No.
No, I didn't get around to it.
The
Hulu
show?
bought it and is bringing it back.
Yeah, it's coming back in
And
June.
Oh,
yeah, they did less a trailer and more of like a 3-minute short, but it
I like
picks up
that show.
right where the show left off, which was during this gnarly like Borg type invasion.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it looked pretty good.
Oh,
A
awesome. I
little
may
scary
rewatch
too.
Orville. I forgot that was coming back. I really
Oh,
enjoyed
maybe it
that.
won't hold up since we now have lower decks. Since that's what it.
It sounds like maybe they were only gonna do one more season. It sounds like it was kind of a miracle it came back, but I'm hoping they
I'll
do.
take it.
I'd rather them do that than another season of Futurama. I tell you what. Good thing they're not doing that since they did the perfect ending.
It just seems like the end of a pitch meeting. Like, well, this isn't like it's going to bring back Futurama. Dinner.
Dang.
Futurama
I
back
don't
for
know.
another
All I
season.
know is I've not seen more of Futurama than I've seen. So
I mean, we've rebooted it a couple times. Let's not get crazy. Okay, but what if we did though?
My only concern with them bringing Futurama back is that I felt like that show ended flawlessly. It's really beautiful.
I've heard that from a few people today. Yeah.
Oh, have
yeah.
you never seen
Well,
the finale? It is.
No,
It is stuff of legends.
I've seen maybe 2 seasons of Futurama. I don't love the groaning stuff as much as everybody else. Like I've definitely seen less Simpsons than I have not seen. Like they've done so much of it.
Well, I think Futurama beats the shit out of Simpsons, but that's just me.
I don't know. I like it. Okay, it's never been one of those sit down and binge through it. I also never finished Venture Brothers. You know, I hate cartoons. I think that's what it comes down to.
I don't understand their drawings that move. It's sorcery.
Hello? Defiance in the eyes, like his father.
Why do you have a blanket on your face?
Come here, kneel. Put your right hand in the box.
What's in the box?
Pain.
I'm gonna want to put hand in box.
I hold at your neck the gom jabba. Poison needle. Instant death. The test is simple. Remove your hand from the box, and you die.
Does Elmo have choice to not? Oh. Oh. No, Elmo know what to do. No. Do like.
All right. Anyway, that's the TV Diaries, and this seems like a good place to remind you that you can support us by going over to patreon.com/tvdudes. Throw us $1 an episode. In exchange, we get to keep up with streaming services, pay our hosting costs, and you get bonus content each week. This week, we're wrapping up Great Scott with Crimson Tide. We also have our $20 showrunner level, so if there are shows you want us to throw into the rotation, you can buy in at that level and give us a couple of ideas. Once again, does not have to be anime.
There's actually an anime tie-in to Mandalorian this week that I'm excited to mention. In due time.
Okay, all
You
right.
son
Or
of
sorry,
a bitch,
Book of
that's
Boba
my
Fett. I
thing.
did it again. Oh.
Would you like if I came in and just talked about British shit?
Well,
It's my
Yes,
only
yes, you would.
identity on this show.
I mean, no.
All right, let's talk about the stuff we did watch this week for the homework, and let's start off with Pam and Tommy on Hulu. This is based on a Rolling Stone article largely centering on Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee's sex tape, which is a thing from the 90s, which doesn't seem that long ago, but I believe that is essentially, 20 years ago now, 30 years ago? But this it's a show run by Robert Siegel. But I want to say, is that... Okay, he did The Wrestler.
Is that not Courage the Cowardly Dog?
I was thinking, no, not the other dog, the Triumph.
I'm sorry, the insult comic
Clifford?
dog.
I was trying to think that too, and I don't think it is. I think it's a different Siegel.
Now
'Cause
there's
I
a
had the same
crossover.
thought. I was like, is it? It's not. Anyway, he did The Wrestler. That was like sort of his big thing.
Yeah.
Or he wrote The Wrestler. I guess he didn't direct The Wrestler. But anyway, this has Sebastian Stan playing Tommy Lee, has Lily James playing Pamela Anderson, has Seth Rogen playing the hapless contractor who stole the tape in the first place.
Rand something.
Yes, Nick Offerman as the pornographer who he gets in business with.
That isn't Ron Jeremy at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh no, Ron Jeremy wasn't a director.
Ron Jeremy was not a producer.
But no, I mean his look. Like,
yeah.
Oh God, he's so good.
I have bad news for you, Nick. Everyone in porn in the 80s looked like that. It's
really?
not Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, no,
that's what
I
they
mean,
all look
this is
like.
some Boogie Nights looking shit.
Yep.
So you're saying I need to watch more 70s porn. Gotcha.
I'm definitely
Speaking
not
of
saying that.
Boogie Nights, Randy, I know you'll remember the amount of bullshit surrounding Boogie Nights coming out and showing some kind of prosthetic penis-looking object in front of Mark Wahlberg for like a half second in a paid movie theater. Like the amount of shit around that. And then it's all I could fucking think about watching Pam and Tommy is I was like, wow, that's a lot of brain to hang in full frontal in a Hulu show. And then it spoke.
This may be the most nudity I've ever seen in a Hulu show.
Oh my God.
His penis is a character in this show. No, I'm not. No, I'm not being facetious. It fucking has lines.
At one moment when you see Pamela Anderson for the first time naked and it's the prosthetic, my wife goes, "Fake," and I was like, "Well, technically they're fake in real life."
Authentic.
They look exactly. I was like, you guys can't fuck that up because like a lot of the country knows exactly what those boobs look like that year.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of, they did such a good job at all the stuff they recreated.
It's
like
uncanny.
I think episode 1 opens with a clip from Jay Leno. And you only realize it's fake when you realize that's not Jay Leno.
But it's a guy doing an uncanny Jay Leno impression.
It's all of it is stunning.
Well, they keep it far away in the video shaky, so you don't. Once you see a close up on him, you're like, oh wait, I see the prosthetic.
Well, what's funny though is Jay Leno, the fake Jay Leno. He looks like the bad guy from what's that Crazy Town or whatever that kids show is with the weird plastic chin.
Like Spy Kids?
No, but it's like that. It's Lazy Town.
Lazy Town.
He looks like the bad guy from Lazy Town. It is weird how fake Jay Leno looks, and it also feels just right. Like, yeah, Jay Leno does look like a fictional character.
Super weird to me is how much Sebastian Stan looks like Tommy Lee. If you had told, I mean, when I first heard about that casting, I was like, that's a terrible idea. He can't look anything. Now I'm thinking Daniel Radcliffe's gonna fucking kill it as Weird Al because
I mean,
Jesus Christ. Sebastian Stan just vanishes. I mean, that Motley Crue biopic was self-aggrandizing and insanely goofy and whatever. But MGK felt like flawless, like David Bowie as Warhol casting for that. And then to see this, it's like the Jared Harris same year Warhol. Like if you had told me Tommy Lee was going to be a character that I would see portrayed spectacularly within a couple of years on television, what I got from watching Pam and Tommy so far is the sad, scary knowledge that in 10 years, someone is going to write a Kardashian miniseries and I'm going to love it.
Oh, fuck. You're
That's
right.
a bummer. I
mean, they kind of already did because the Kardashian dad was in OJ and it was great.
Right?
Yeah, the cycle continues. Although I do think the casting on this movie was awkward as shit. Of like, oh, Sebastian, this is going to be a great role for you. We think you could really embody the role of, a famous rocker.
A complete douchebag.
The king of all douchebags.
We need someone that can be an unbelievable douchebag. Sebastian Stan, you're our guy.
I mean, this show needs beyond anything else. They need an Emmy for makeup and production because man, the tattoos and everything that he's got, like, it's fantastic. By the way, Sebastian Stan's gonna be having the time of his life because he got to play a loosened up version of Bucky in Falcon and Winter Soldier, and now he gets to play this role. And it's like finally the guy who's been having to do the sort of moody, dark eyeshadow gets to play fun.
His willingness to do this I, Tonya type shit and really go for it, I think, is what's going to separate him from the pack of bland white dude action guys that he could get mixed into, like Sam Worthington or Jack Courtney or whoever.
Taylor Kitsch.
Yeah.
It feels like he has a personal grudge against Tommy Lee of like, I want to make sure that dude comes off like a fucking asshole.
There's a podcast called You Were Wrong About.
Yeah.
And that's what this feels like for me of like, I lived through this, but willfully didn't give any fucks about it at the time.
Right.
And so it's like the McDonald's lawsuit or something. It's just one of those things of like, no, I thought I remembered that. Wow, I did not know that it was this stupid of a fucking plan.
Well, you know
Oh
what's
my
crazy
God.
is like it makes me feel bad. Like even as they're showing Tommy to be this utter douchebag and this terrible person, and they open the first episode by him just like completely ruining these two contractors for no reason other than his own ego. But then as they go on to it, and you see like his love for Pam, weird and stupid as it is very pure.
It's
They're the
authentic.
perfect, weird, stupid people for each other. Yeah.
And like, yeah, and like he's like a dumb kid. Yes, he's a dumb kid with an AK-47, but he's like a dumb kid, and you
That's
almost
even
feel bad for him.
scarier.
When you start to see like when they lose the baby, I was like, oh fuck, man. And when he starts like cooking, he starts cooking for her, and I'm like, oh, this dude cooks for
When
her.
he makes
like,
all the Greek food for her.
Yeah.
When you see the real life consequences of like what the stress probably did to her, I'm not sure how related it was, but I got to imagine it was somewhat related.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched episode 4 yet?
I did.
I'm one behind.
Yeah, because in that reveal, you see the stress affect her. Well, the show definitely wants you to think that things that have happened to her because of the stress.
But also, they do a good job of showing her like they open with that thing with Lena with looking uncomfortable, but basically how this fucked over her career. Like she was ready to go. I mean, yeah, she was Pamela Anderson. She was a little delusional, but like Barbed Wire was going to be her big coming out. She was going to become a movie star. She was going to break out just being the Baywatch bimbo. And then this forever pegged her as the sex tape girl.
Yeah, and I would say that Barbed Wire is a terrible movie to launch your career off of, but people have launched their careers off of fucking terrible movies.
When she outlines the Jane Fonda thing, and I was like, shit, that actually makes sense.
It was good. It was great. It was great.
There was a moving scene where Tommy Lee makes a snide comment about, people watching Baywatch to see her in a bathing suit. And she looks at him like she honestly didn't think that was the case.
Yeah.
Like until he pointed it out, she was like, what are you talking about?
Well, and she's so big into this monologue that they
she's
cut.
so mad about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's great. Well, I mean, like, that's one of the moments. I think that's when he makes her the Greek food. It's one of the great moments of them as a couple when you see that, like, oh shit, she actually needs some of his fucking batshit crazy confidence, and he needs someone to fucking back him off sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even their opening coming to Cancun thing, it's one of those like, oh, you're finding this cute while your friends are like, that's a stalker.
Pamela's worst crime in this is being not assertive enough in her career, and also marrying the wrong dude.
Yeah.
And she gets it the worst out of all of these people.
Yeah.
He rips that ring off his buddy's fucking hand. It's like,
yes.
Holy crap.
Like when Seth Rogen is getting chased by the biker gang, I almost want to go. He's there. Get him. Get over there.
Man,
he's getting away.
I love Seth Rogen, and it's Diane. I forget her last name, but she's from Rescue Me, is where I know her from. But her playing his ex-porn star now.
Wasn't that Orange is the New Black?
Taylor Sheridan. Oh, you're right. It's Orange is the New Black. It's not who I think. Yeah, but I thought that was an interesting story. I actually feel bad for Seth Rogen's character too. I'm like, man, this guy is a scumbag.
That's not Taylor Sheridan.
But he's right. I mean, he got fucked over by Tommy Lee. No wonder he was seeking revenge.
You have his sympathy up until the robbery. You're like, yeah, fuck this guy. He's not gonna miss the money, and he's owed something anyway, and he breaks the law. But once the tape gets it, and he gets dollar signs in his eyes.
Yeah, that's when it became about greed. And it's like, he could have even kept the tape, kept it back in his room. It could have been his own little thing. And then when the mob guy eventually shows up, or the PI guy, he gets hit in the face, he gives the tape back. It's the end of it,
Well, and he was like, oh, but I want to get back at that Tommy Lee son of a bitch. I'm like, you realize you're barely inconveniencing him and destroying her life,
destroying
right?
Pamela, and he's
going to come out of this like Timberlake after the wardrobe malfunction, and like she's going to come out of this like Janet.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Taylor Schilling. I said Taylor Sheridan a second ago, and that is the dude from Yellowstone.
He's got range.
I had to correct that. He has a lot of range, but not this far.
That dude, Yellowstone, 1883, mayor of Kingstown, and playing Pamela Anderson.
Wrote Hell or High Water, and
Seth Rogen has a great speech in this where he doesn't think through that other people can copy this tape and sell it. You fucking moron.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Everyone in this show is about 2 degrees stupider than they need to be. Yeah.
If you can do it, then anyone can, because you're an idiot. And so he's yelling at this guy in the parking lot like,
what you're doing is wrong.
Excuse me?
These do not belong to you.
Look, dude.
No. You look, dude, you have no right to be selling these. You are profiting off of somebody else's considerable risk and labor, which is probably illegal, but it's definitely unethical.
You can't hear yourself, can you?
You're almost there, buddy. Almost there.
I thought he was gonna have a realization after that. Nope. Didn't even cross his mind.
Also, I've got some major foreshadowing I'm picking up on. It looks like Nick Offerman is just making off with the cash.
Oh yeah,
the whole
yeah.
flight to Amsterdam early on.
Well,
and stuff
how
of,
much
like,
cash did they make? Because sure, they'll have a cash flow in the start of it, but then once it's out there on the internet, anyone can get it.
Yeah.
Well, this is pre being able to put
video.
Well, pre two things.
Right.
Pre being able to put video on the internet, but also being able to make secure credit card transactions.
Mhm.
And there's actually a really funny history of the internet that porn is the reason why we have the credit card
Porn's why you can
encryption
take
we do
credit cards
today.
for anything. Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure porn's why we have wheels.
Porn's why
I
there's
think
video
porn is-
compression.
Porn
why
is the
there's
beginning of porn is the beginning of every invention.
It would be harder than today, but still, it would be any asshole that has a VCR recorder that
Yeah,
can fucking
yeah.
take this
Yeah.
and do it. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I think
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, this is making 7 copies of Top Gun.
Yeah, but I mean, in '90s dollars,
Les has experience with this.
Nick Offerman is probably set for life. He made enough money to go live in Amsterdam
Yeah.
happily. And that's
Well,
what
and
he's
if they
gonna
were
do.
selling it all over the country, maybe
Yeah.
even all over the globe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
for $60 a pop.
Sure,
yeah,
I'm
They
sure they
found
made
a
a lot of
broken
money in
ATM
that first
machine.
couple weeks, probably.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is I'm surprised how much I enjoyed this.
Yes.
Also, I love that no one wants to touch it. Like, no one's gonna make money from a celebrity sex tape was the modus operandi for Hollywood.
Yep.
Even Dice Clay is like, nah, you put it up in one theater and the cops are already there. It's over.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't recognize that was Dice Clay.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Well, also, like, they make the deal with a loan shark, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I wonder if that'll come back.
Yeah, there's a lot of boogie nights in this. This reminds me a lot of the sort of
It's
sex.
really
and
fun. Yeah, I'm
violence
enjoying the
boogie
shit out of
nights,
it.
Yeah.
I do think we should throw in Barbed Wire as a Patreon. as
God,
a-
I've never seen Barbed Wire, and I feel like shouldn't have to.
I feel
Don't
like we
call me
should throw it
babe.
in as a Patreon in between directors.
Randy, what if I told you this, that it's, no joke, a gender-flipped remake of Casablanca?
Oh, I've heard this.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I've read the Barbed Wire comics because they were a Dark Horse comic when I was working at a shop in college. But I don't want to see that. I don't want to do that.
And it has Boba Fett in it.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
it does have Boba Fett in it.
What's his face?
Which
guy
one?
playing Fett.
Tamara Morrison.
Tamara Morrison or
Yep.
the other one?
Tamara
That guy.
Morrison.
Okay. All right, fair
The
enough.
Aussie. Oh, would I know the other guy?
I don't know.
Wait,
Jeremy
he's not
Bulloch?
Hawaiian?
Just letting it all hang out.
All right, let's move on and let's talk about Resident Alien season 2, which there's been 2 episodes up so far. I don't know if y'all saw both or not.
I have. I had to go back and rewatch the last episode of season 1. That show is more complicated than you would think a silly fish out
Yeah.
of water alien story is.
Yeah, and I think honestly to its detriment, like trying to keep track of the plots and the character stuff. I don't care about most of them,
It is a lot. Yeah.
but I am just here to watch Alan Tudyk play this deranged alien. And maybe, for example, forgetting who he is, and thinking he's Lenny Briscoe from
Oh,
Homicide
God.
from Law and Order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also am loving Nathan Fillion's Octopus.
Yes, I didn't catch it was him until this latest episode. I'm like, oh man, that's Nathan Fillion. That's great.
That, like, you got to save me, man. I think I'm the Chef Special Monday. Come on, man.
Come on, dude. Number 42, is that his name? That's the
Number
number on the
49, I
menu.
think. Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, it's what he is on the menu.
Yeah, I like that they've
I think he fed me octopus, man. He's a psycho.
they did a big thing at the end of the first season where Asta, the sort of sheriff's deputy or whatever, finds out that he's an alien. She still doesn't know that he murdered the doctor and
No,
took his
she's
place.
the nurse or whatever.
Nurse.
The
Nurse,
sheriff's
you're right, she's the nurse,
deputy
yeah.
is the...
Right, that's the other group, the other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and now her dad is in on it. Like the two of them know he's an alien, but they don't know how bad he is.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
What's
Asta,
funny
I think,
is-
knows. Like,
I think Asta's figuring it out.
Well, she knows that he wants to exterminate the planet, but she also thinks he's had a change of heart, which he has. But his change of heart is that he wants her to live, and maybe whoever is going to be their butler.
well, that's progress. What do you...
It's progress. It's slow. It's progress.
That's better, Randy. I mean, like, baby steps.
You want to kill all of humanity but 2 people.
Crawl before you commit genocide or not.
I do love that. I love the alien thought process that Tudyk just gets across here. Like, basically, yeah, he's like, no, well, I still want to kill everyone, but not her. And I guess we're gonna need somebody to cook and clean for us. Maybe your dad. No, that would be complicated.
Well, now he doesn't want to kill anybody, but he's like, oh, my people are definitely gonna come and wipe shit out.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah. And I like, he even says straight up, like, I don't want to stop them. I do want all of the Earthlings to fry.
Which, if you in the year, the year of our Lord 2022, I understand that temptation. I totally get that.
I do love the just matter of fact from the octopus of like, no, dude, you failed. That doesn't mean that like, oh well, Earth's off the list. Like they're just gonna send more of you, but better you.
I actually hadn't watched any of this previously. I actually watched season 1 just yesterday. To catch up, and I think I'm with you, Randy. Is that I really like this show, but there's something about it that keeps me from loving it. And I think it's the structure of the episode, because there's always a lot of like focusing on Asta and her kid, and then the deputy and the sheriff. Although
and the mayor,
Big Black, is funny.
Yeah.
But there tends to be a lot of him, like more than I think there should be.
It's a little bit like the CW shows where they're so deep on the cast. You're like, I only care about those 2 lead characters. I don't care about any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Or Dexter of like, no, I care about the serial killer. I care about the alien. I don't care about any of this other shit.
Yeah, I don't care about the divorced cop finally dating again. That does not matter to me.
They're here to provide jokes, nothing else.
Yeah. I do think this is better than Dexter, to be clear.
The mayor and his wife having beaten the living shit out of the conspiracy people from last season.
Yes.
And now they have this like inappropriate level sex bond over it.
They're real weird about it.
Yes.
When she walks out of the room wearing a faux tail hanging out of the back, it was like a holy shit moment.
Yeah.
Someone get that kid a therapist and tell them they're gonna make all the money in the world.
Damn, Peacock.
Yes. This kid's having a rough life.
Oh, save me, Daddy. Oh, does baby need saving? And I'm like, your child is right
there.
Why are you in like a Woody costume?
Also, I'm here, and I don't like this either. This is uncomfortable.
Hey, speaking of Peacock, last year when we watched season 1, it was only on the Sci-Fi app.
Yes.
And I remember the commercials were a nightmare.
Yeah.
And even though Peacock still has commercials, it's like Hulu level bad. It is nothing like the Sci-Fi app was, or the Fox app back in the day.
Having this on Peacock makes a big difference in terms of being able to actually watch it. Because I think otherwise, Les and I would be spending at least 5 minutes here complaining about how hard they don't want us to watch.
Season 1 was obnoxious. It's like months would go by and they drop a few more. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. Speaking of ads, by the way, I've been catching up on some CW shows. And have you all seen, this is kind of funny that on the CW, they have an Apple Plus commercial. It's the Jon Hamm Apple Plus commercial.
Yes, over
and over. You guys
seen
this ad?
Yes.
So,
Randy, I think I made reference to it the other day, and I noticed you caught it. I was like, you have to have watched something on CW.
I went and tried. It was kind of funny. It was related to something else, so I showed it to the other 2 guys at the store. And there's an extended version of it with more jokes, and it's a minute long. It's delightful. Like Jon Hamm doing shilling for Apple Plus is hilarious.
Like they got everybody, but why not Jon Hamm?
Why not Jon Hamm? Yeah, really good.
Snoopy, you've got Snoopy.
I really like Resident Alien. I don't love it, but I really like it, and I'm glad it's back.
Yeah.
Also, they do a lot of with the prosthetic work that I think is like with the when only the kid can see him. They actually put him in the prosthetics a lot for this show, and I think that was
There's even
a cool
times
move
where it's Tudyk in front of the camera and he walks past a mirror and they've got the prosthetic in the mirror.
I mean,
there were a couple times where I was like, you didn't need to do that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much that cheap prosthetic looks really good now. Because you know that they don't have like, movie budgets on this, but like they definitely, TV has caught up, within the past decade.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's talk about Murderville, which I believe is a remake of a Brit show.
I believe so.
Called Whose Line Is It Anyways?
No, it's called Thank God You're Here.
Yeah, but this does have a lot of Whose Line DNA in it. It is a weird. It is trying to be. It's a weird beast. It is. It's Will Arnett playing Terry Seattle, senior homicide detective in L.A. And each episode, he is paired with a special guest star. Special guest star, an actual celebrity, does not know who did the murders. They have a notebook with questions to ask, and they are forced to improv their way along with things. And then at the end, they have to guess who did the crime. And if they are correct, they win nothing because it's a fake show. And if they lose, they are fired, which also doesn't matter because it's a fake job.
But also, some of them get really invested in it for some reason.
I wish they were playing for charity money or something like that. I want it to be a real game show so bad.
It's it feels like it does. I wanted it to be a little more of a game show, but I did love this. I think I may be the one who loved this the most amongst all of us.
I hated how much I like this.
Oh, okay, all right.
Fucking, don't like improv at all, but the only improv they're doing really is the celebrity guest and people reacting off what the celebrity guest says. Everything else is scripted, including a bunch of stuff at the beginning before the celebrity guest comes in.
Yeah, well, Will Arnett always has a story. He's got some dumb story that he's following through.
Yeah, I liked all of that.
Yeah, and all of that's really funny, and, it depends on the celebrity guest, obviously. Like, I don't think Conan was a great pick.
I didn't think Conan was the strongest one either. I thought he was fine.
Well, everyone's like, he's a celebrity, and he's kind of funny. I'm like, yeah, he's talk show host funny, though.
He keeps trying to take the lead on it, and then immediately gets followed by Marshawn Lynch, who's a complete surprise.
Yeah, you know who he almost stole this whole show.
He
Marshawn
stole
Lynch.
it. He's the only one I really like.
He's yes-anding like a motherfucker.
But also, that's because I'm not sure if Marshawn Lynch knows this is fake.
No, there's a moment where they're doing shots when he's supposed to be the blackjack dealer. and you can see him, like, he doesn't fully break, but you can see him in character ask, like, no, but can I actually take this shot?
Can I do this though?
Somebody would stop me in character if I can't drink this, right?
When he comes at him with the bat, he grabs him and throws the guy down. He's like, not today, motherfucker.
I only made it through like 3 of these, or 3.5 of these.
You didn't see the Kamal Nanjiani one?
Fucking hate improv so much. No, I didn't make it through it. Annie Murphy's was all right. Conan's was everything I hate about improv. Marshawn Lynch was a complete delight.
Kamal's probably is the best one. Sharon Stone has a fun. She's like a great.
Sharon Stone's surprisingly good. Yeah,
she does the straight comedy, like really like the straight man type stuff, and I thought her take on it was great.
Well, she's kind of like I'm Sharon Stone. I don't have to be here. And that's how she plays it.
Yeah, like she's too good for it. Like,
yes,
and it really works. Like, but also Will Arnett is telling them like weird backstories that are so specific, and of course the people they're talking to are like, "Oh, I'm from there."
Yeah,
I think I really like the scripted parts of it, and I'm realizing right now that I just really like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah,
or I could watch Will Arnett do a remake of Sledgehammer.
Also, I like that you can try and figure out the mystery too. The game show element of it gives you a thing of like you're like pretending like a game of Seen It. You're trying to figure out in the background like, oh wait, they said that thing, or oh that person can't whistle, so that can't be them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. He punched the wall with the
And I was weirdly invested by the end of it because
I love that Encyclopedia Brown bullshit. I was all into that.
I was watching with Megan as we got to the end of each one, and we binged it in a night, which Megan never binged.
Because Sharon Stone was funny and everything, but she failed that fucking mystery completely.
Oh my god, she wasn't even paying attention.
She was not paying attention at all.
Yeah, the person she picked, I'm like, they specifically told you she doesn't drink coffee. Like that's not the one. You should know this. I know this.
She was very in your face about I don't put anything in my body that isn't sugar and enthusiasm.
Yeah. But I gotta say, I think Ken Jeong was the weakest, honestly, because he was breaking so much. And it's almost like Jimmy Fallon levels, like this is obnoxious.
Finale with him, what a mistake.
Yeah.
When he is famous for not being able to keep his shit together, and I'm sure that's why they got him, because they thought that would be funny. But I don't think they realized how often he would break.
And it breaks the show. It doesn't work.
He can't actually do the scene. He's too busy laughing and being just weirdly
But you got to give it up to
smiling.
the supporting cast, how like he would be breaking or they would be breaking, and like no celebrity got any supporting out, or they cut it out.
Yeah.
But like
No,
there
the rest
is
of the
not
cast is
none of
great.
the actual people break.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they what's it? The cutting of it is cool because obviously they cut stuff out, And because all the improv stuff, like it weirdly cuts off at a point, and you go like, oh, this is to keep the pace of the show. So they only keep it enough to get to the certain point, and then hard cut to like Will Arnett's fucking voiceover saying she retired from life. Like he's one step close from like his inner dumb monologue of being like, knock knock, who's there? Murder. Like, which is kind of what I love about him.
He's Batman. If his parents didn't die, they just beat him.
Vigilante. Your dad just left.
His partner Jennifer Aniston, which, by the way, how weird that they cast her just to use her
Jennifer Aniston. So it's only a picture.
She's done that shit before. Did anybody ever watch Burning Love? The fake.
Oh yeah.
They did a fake
Burning Love.
Reality Bachelor type contest.
Yeah, it was like The Bachelor, but it was all like your favorite comedians were all the characters, and everything was like scripted / improv.
I think Ken Jeong's in that. But Jennifer Aniston's in only the first episode. Like this woman shows up in like a complete like college mascot costume, like a big bear, and
I remember
and she
that.
won't take it. And she's like, no, because I want it to be about personalities. And I'd like, of course, the dude's like, well, I'm sorry, but I'm going to eliminate the crazy person in the bear suit. And when she gets in the limo and takes the bear head off, it's the first time that you see that like they cast Jennifer Aniston just for like a 1 second
That's funny.
reveal. That's how I felt about seeing her photo on the wall.
I guess I can appreciate the art of improv because there is a certain element of like Kumail Nanjiani asks him like, no, you're saying about it in my head, do it with an Indian accent. And like,
oh, that was so good.
And to Will Arnett's credit, he fucking flips on it, and he's like, he does it in a British. I'm like, wait, is he doing a bad one? He doesn't know. He's like, I migrated. I was born in India, but then immediately moved to London, and
yep.
And I was like,
that's a great bit.
That was a great recovery from him, and we would not have had that bit. And I really like. I guess I need a structure around it.
I honestly, and you need someone who's good at it. I honestly think Kumail Nanjiani is the strongest of all the episodes
because he's an actual comedian. So.
And right after that, I put an actor. I mean, like he's a comedian
and a writer.
And actor. He's he's the guy for this. And then I feel like Marshawn Lynch is right below that, just because again, I'm not sure he knew he was in a show.
Why isn't Patton Oswalt here?
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. Patton Oswalt would be perfect season 2.
Then
I go Sharon Stone. Yeah, I don't know. But I really loved this. And it's 6 episodes. It's a quick watch. Like I said, I binged through the whole thing. I definitely recommend it.
This is such a like a generic answer for like who you'd like to see in a season 2, but a Jason Bateman episode would be amazing.
How about Jason Mantzoukas?
Oh, even better.
I would actually be afraid of what he improved. If anyone was going to take over the show, he would.
Yeah, actually, I think just they do a season that's the entire Brooklyn Nine-Nine cast one at a time. Andy Samberg, Rosa
Terry
Diaz, Terry Crews.
Oh, Terry Crews would be good.
You could
Andre Braugher, but it's just as Captain Holt all over again.
Yep.
Randy, I think you got something
one
here.
episode per. That's it. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Those guys are all free now. Brooklyn Nine-Nine's over. They can return.
Joe Latruglio should definitely be on this.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And they should keep their Brooklyn Nine-Nine characters. That's what I think. One last ride. That's all I'm saying.
This is your new partner, Detective Boyle.
Detective Boyle. Oh man, I would kill to see that. That'd be fantastic. All right, let's dive into our double desserts. I was actually thinking this could be a week for triple desserts because I think we want to start talking about the after party, but that's just too indulgent. So I think after Book of Boba Fett ends
this episode this week disappointed me for after party.
Really? Definitely did not disappoint me.
It subverted expectations for real, because I think we were all expecting this to be like a druggy type episode where everything was like.
And I like that, and it's a good episode, but I was expecting something like she's the only one that's speaking English and everyone else is speaking made up drunk language and is being translated. Like I thought.
No, it was like a 90s suspense. Like I know what you did last summer type, which I thought worked too.
Well, my favorite thing about it was that in all of her stories, she's not drunk. So I feel like the big joke was that we know she's full of shit because we saw her drunk in all these other stories.
She only pretends to be drunk for Anik. So
that's true.
So he thinks he's remembering right. Everyone else just seems to assume that she was drunk as shit and couldn't even speak when she was obviously speaking to them coherently, or at least in her
Yeah.
mind.
Oh, okay.
I can't wait for the episode where it's from the point of view of Dave Franco, and we find out that he's not as big of a douchebag as everybody else portrays him as.
Oh man, if they turn it around where he's just the nicest guy and he
was just he's totally genuine. Yeah.
I have to go and actually help out the orphans. I usually do. What are you doing? Don't push me off this. Oh no, the environment.
Yeah, I actually think that's entirely possible.
Get my body out of the tide, bro. This is a waterway.
Anyway, so I guess we are doing triple desserts because we just talked about the after party.
Yep.
So let's talk now about Peacemaker, which had that great cliffhanger last week of Adebayo seeing that Murch was a butterfly. And it looked like he was going to kill her, and I love the way they did it.
I'm so glad they're going the good place method of just like, fuck it.
You said last week it was the Good Place, and I'm like, oh my god, this is exactly how a Good Place episode would open, completely disregarding the big twist that they did at the end of like, nah, everybody already knew, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, he just plugs his ears because it's easier than hiding things. I love that.
He literally plugs his ears.
But I'll tell you what, Economos has a good idea there. You don't want to know shit that Waller doesn't want you to know.
No,
I'm gonna bank on being a good enough liar for that bullshit.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, we tagged this early on. I think Les, you pegged this at like, there's no way there's that many butterflies, and it's just a simple alien invasion.
Yeah, it's got to be two. It's got to be two sects like within.
But that there's another sect.
But they haven't started doing the invasion part of it until recently, I guess.
Like, man,
they've been here for a while, kind of chilling, I guess. But
I did not see coming. I mean, I knew that the Goff, the butterfly was going to get loose. I did not know he was going to kill and take over the detective.
Well, especially when they when they've established that when you're taken over by a bug, it fucking kills you.
It eats your brain. Yeah,
there's no
hollows you out. There's nothing left in there.
Yeah, they're not saving Yo-Yo from the Shrike in this show.
So that whole police department is completely wiped out.
Man, that scene was so good.
Oh god,
yeah,
dude, and they set it up to knock it down. It's always weird to learn a new smile, so that the whole walk towards the camera, smile like a fucking insane person thing.
They got to do the thing that normally pisses me off in every show. Usually, every actor goes too far and fucking tilts their head like 5 degrees too fucking far, and I'm like, okay, your character's supposed to have turned a little evil, not lost their goddamn mind. But in this one, it worked perfect, and they'd set the joke up already just to fucking kill it.
Yep.
They did an amazing prop reveal where we find out that the little alien modem that turned into like what looked like a little frisbee is actually one of the alien spaceships for the butterflies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
gosh,
really
when I saw that and was like, that's what the disc thing was. I totally never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I liked what was it? The when the cop gets taken over and like her interactions with everybody, she's slowly kind of like, and then she's saying the creepiest shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if it makes you feel any better, she truly respected you. Walk away. What?
Also, I love that even though they all know, like, what's her name? I can't remember. Harcourt? Harcourt knows. Much as he doesn't want to. Economos knows. Adebayo now knows. None of them want to tell Peacemaker. They're like, look, he can't handle it. Don't tell him.
Yeah.
That's fair, though.
I love that they're strapping the guy into the white dragon armor. So we're going to have the white supremacist gang, which apparently includes some bald blowjob queens. Thanks, HBO Max, for that.
When she put the sack over her head,
yes,
I was
my God. Fully naked except for the white hood.
That was Resident Alien sexual weird.
In the trailer for next week, they've got, it looks like they're just using, this is a brilliant idea. You've got a costume that fully covers the person's face and everything. So they're just using Robert Patrick's voice, and they've got some athletic as shit motherfucker flying through train cars and shit.
Yeah.
The costume department must have gotten the note. Okay, so it says here you want a Power Rangers outfit, but racist?
Here's the thing. That costume is from Hawkworld that John Alsner did after Suicide
Dude,
Squad.
they nailed it.
And it is dead on.
Yeah.
It is a dead on recreation of that costume. I mean, it is more so than the Falcon Cap costume. Like, it looks like it leaped out of the comic page.
Wow.
Yes, it really does.
That's really a lot of work for a character called White Dragon.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to go on record here and say that this is the best thing the DC Cinematic Universe has ever given us.
Ever done.
Agreed.
Yeah.
By a wide margin.
This show might be worth sitting through all that other shit. It's so good.
Well, and the crazy thing is, like, you know, the previous thing that I loved like this was Harley Quinn, the Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey, and it had a similar sort of anarchic vibe. But this is crazier than that.
This is Marvel level good in the writing, and it's different. It's what they wanted. It's different from them in their
Marvel.
adults like.
Yeah, this wouldn't work in the Marvel shows.
No.
They're taking the piss out of everything, but also there's hyper violence and.
It's working. As much as I like The Boys, it's better than The Boys. What The Boys is trying to do.
And The Boys is fucking good.
Oh, The Boys is really good. Yeah.
I can't tell you how impressed I am with this show. Like. I wanted to see it after the Suicide Squad movie, but I was like, I bet you that show will be good. I didn't think it was going to be this fucking good.
Yeah, I didn't expect this to be. It's potentially my favorite new show of the year. It's definitely up there. We're early going, but it's up there.
I was thinking a lot about the whole controversy with James Gunn's tweets and then being taken off of Guardians.
Best thing that ever happened to the
Suicide
DC
Squad.
universe.
Yep.
And then going back. But imagine, you're in that spot and you're like, okay, of course I got to take this movie with the other big company because I can't be seen as a failure, da-da. But that's not what he thought. He thought, oh, I can do this TV show. And the TV show turned to be like the best thing out of this whole deal. Well, we haven't seen the new Guardians
No, seriously,
movie, but...
time travelers will have to go out of their way and go like, no, you have to get in trouble for those tweets. No, don't delete them.
Yeah.
It'll suck for a while, but you need to take a vacation from Disney for just long enough to do something.
Yeah, here's the thing I thought I'd never say. Thanks, Mike Chernovich, for being a douchebag.
You can't bitch about cancel culture and enjoy Peacemaker. That's
right. Without cancel culture, there's no Peacemaker, motherfuckers. But like I say, the flip side of that is we have to be like, oh, I guess Mike Chernovich isn't a complete waste of right wing space, and I don't know if I don't want to live in that
stop
world.
Clock, right?
Yeah, right.
Even a broken clock isn't racist once a day.
Depends on the clock. Depends what the clock is.
No, I don't think that worked.
I think if the clock is in Georgia, it might be racist.
That's a racist clock. You're on Mississippi time now.
Make a move extreme. Shortcut to your dreams. Go straight to the stars on a flying thing. Getting high. Getting snow blind. Set go. Pikachu, Chickaboo in the world beyond. Got a beat, got a heat on the phone. It's tear your world apart. Once the magic starts.
All right, let's talk about the finale of Book of Boba Fett, aka Mandalorian season 2.5.
Look, I mean, I was joking last week when I said he should crawl back in the Sarlacc pit. I really did not expect them to end it with the Benny Hill music and the Sarlacc pit.
Les, was it you or someone else who said that they really should have made this show about him? Every season should be about him coming out of weirder holes.
Oh,
that was Les.
I mean, that might have been somebody else, but they're onto a great.
Les is the
idea.
weird hole pitch guy.
Yes.
I have been championing this show. I have talked about how much I've enjoyed it, how I don't think it's lesser than The Mandalorian. Even as they decided to do 2 episodes of The Mandalorian in the mix of it.
I think Disney disagrees with you.
Ming-Na Wen kept saying, oh no, it's all going to make sense. Why the fuck did they do this? I don't understand. I don't get me wrong. I liked this episode. They gave a lot, as always, lots of fan service.
No,
him riding the Rancor into is
the
fun.
episode itself is actually good from a Mandalorian perspective because it gives you a catharsis for that story.
But
as far as the Boba Fett
this?
shit, there is no emotional climax for Boba Fett. Like that Cad Bane shit, like no one gets that. No, like unless you've watched Clone Wars, and even I've watched Clone Wars, and even I'm like, oh yeah, I guess they know each other.
Well, funny enough, there was actually, I think it was like 6 episodes that they were going to do before that final season that ended up just getting canned. But all of it was going to be the Cad Bane Boba Fett, like him being the mentor to Boba Fett and them going on adventures. And then they came back and they didn't do any of those episodes.
Man, I could just fill a warehouse for all the good ideas Star Wars hasn't done.
I am disappointed. I mean, don't get me wrong, I liked it. But this was up there with like Peacemaker for me. I was really enjoying the show. And this being the finale and them realizing that they really did just kind of waste 2 episodes for The Mandalorian, dropped the whole thing for me. Like the whole thing feels like It was basically if they had decided to do the first 3 episodes of WandaVision as this dumb sitcom pastiche instead of getting along and telling the
The
story.
episode itself is structured in a way so that it ends on the strongest emotional beat, which is the Mando story.
Yeah, which is nothing. So why wasn't this Mandalorian season 3 and Boba Fett's story was like a B plot?
It could have been
that?
like it
Yeah.
really could have been the Mando season 3, and then we had a side quill thing going on.
Yeah, yeah.
You could have given us those first 4 episodes, maybe change the order up a little bit in terms of how you told the story.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And this could have been like a Boba Fett miniseries, and then all this other stuff you could have saved for next
Yeah.
season of
Four
Mandalorian.
episodes. You leave it with him getting the Rancor or whatever, and then you jump to Mandalorian and tell the Mandalorian story you want to tell.
Also, I don't like that they made all Boba's moves not work out. Like
Yeah.
all the gangs betray him, even though that didn't really make sense. Because I'm like, wait a minute.
And had no consequences.
No,
How many people were
it
in those
did.
gangs?
He wiped
Like
out
10?
those gangs, but I'm
Yeah,
like,
how many- why was he afraid of them? There were like 10 people in each gang.
yeah, but and also like, wait, why would they do that? It was actually the smarter move to just keep out of this and just deal with whoever won between Boba Fett and the fucking Syndicate. This putting themselves on the line for no reason.
Also, he finds out who killed called it, by the way. He finds out the Pikes killed his family, the Sand People, and he never gets revenge. Fennec Shand kills all those people. Like, did they not? Did no one realize that maybe Boba Fett should have been the guy? Like, and also they're trying to do this big thing of like Boba Fett kills his mentor Cad Bane. None of that shit actually happened. Cad Bane had like one episode with Baby Boba, and that was it. They never actually got around to doing that. So like, they're paying off stuff. That is my biggest complaint about this episode. Which, again, I should say for the record, I enjoyed it, but they paid off things that they never set up. So like Boba and Cad Bane's big fight at the end, like we'd seen Cad Bane for 5 minutes, and they definitely didn't have a relationship. The whole thing with the lead of the scooter gang and the Freetown sniper, and they're like, we don't like each other, now we like each other.
That came out of nowhere.
Okay, you gotta set that shit up.
I was like, oh, it's a city rat. Wait, you guys hate each other?
Yeah,
I didn't know this was a conflict.
You know what would have helped to set that up? Maybe 2 episodes worth of material that they spent on the fucking Mandalorian for some reason.
Ditched to tell the Mando story.
And the Mando story is good, but it's out of place.
Also, it's like they think hiding out in the town is a better idea than their fortress. Oh, because the town needs to see us defend them. I'm like, you're gonna get this whole town and everyone in it destroyed,
killed. Yeah, go fight in the fortress. The Rancor's already there.
Morally, it's actually more responsible to fight in your fucking your tower where there's gonna be no collateral damage.
Also, did I miss the bit where the Major Domo became like an ally? That was weird to me that they kept like, why didn't they just gun that guy down a long time ago?
I was shocked he was still alive. I feel like he's gonna show up in the next season and be like, wait, you didn't die?
Well, he's definitely he and Amy Sedaris' character are definitely gonna
God, she is so space horny.
Yeah, she
Oh
is.
my gosh, I love her though.
Yeah.
Especially seeing her come back the way she did in this episode was hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny. Although she shows up, she's carrying Grogu with her into this like war zone. Not the best judgment.
Hey, excuse me, I'm here with some of the plot. I think you were missing this.
Yeah.
My 2 major disappointments.
Yeah.
One, my guess was wrong, and we didn't get to see Chris Anthem shoved into the little Grogu pod in the back of Mando's new
We
spaceship.
didn't get
That
to
was
see
a bummer.
Chrysanthemum do anything really cool.
No, he just
Nope.
almost gets killed by Trandoshans.
And he's beating people around, but I'm like, the coolest thing you did in this series was rip an arm off a dude, and that was way a while ago.
I did think it was weird, by the way, that you send the one guy you know hates the Trandoshans to keep an eye on the Trandoshans when you're trying not to fight them.
I was
That a
surprised
weird
he
call.
didn't start shit.
Yeah. Anyway, what was your second thing, Kyle?
I thought since we didn't see him in the pod, we would at least see him in the back to tank, and then we didn't get that either.
No.
Which I'm like, oh, it's got to pay off in a future season.
I was happy with the back to tank though, because I thought, I'm like, okay, it's Cad Bane. He saved him for some stupid fucking reason, because no one can ever kill a Star Wars character that's popular. And then suddenly Timothy Olyphant shows up. I'm like, oh no, I like him. Yeah, keep him around.
I was glad to see that too. Yeah, that
ding,
was
ding, 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 ding. Here's my anime reference. So the guy Thundercat, the rapper / bass player guy who plays the modifier in this,
Cyber Doctor, yeah.
He is the bass player in Carol and Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The
All right.
guy who ends up getting arrested and does like airbase in jail when they're all like
So-
singing to save Mars.
So he likes to do a lot of space stuff. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that very uninteresting, but whatever. Worth stopping the show for. It's great.
I don't know. I felt like I liked it, but there was nothing that was a surprise. Everything was as expected.
I also thought that the Rancor stuff was tame until it
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, wait a minute. If you're gonna have him like rip shit in half and then eat a fucking guy,
Yeah.
why not is he not doing that the whole time? That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Also, the big bulbous shield turrets or whatever, I guess they're there just to provide cover because they can't hit shit worth anything.
Right. Yeah.
They can hit a Rancor if they're right in front of it.
Yeah. Yeah. The droids are trying to make them out to be too nasty. I'm like, but they can't. They got stormtrooper accuracy. Like you can't.
You know what would have been good for those? Because they're based off of the droidicars from the
Yeah.
prequels.
Yeah.
And the way that those things move is they roll, get in a position, and they set up a gun.
Yeah.
What if they were too big for those streets? Every time they tried to roll, they would hit like a wall, and then they'd set their gun up, and that's why they couldn't fire. Like at least it would make more
Yeah.
sense why they kept missing them and were super
Yeah.
slow.
Or hey, that would be making more sense why they picked the streets to fight in.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
if they'd moved down to the lower street. Yeah. There's a lot of. Basically, I feel like there was another script pass that needed to be done on this. Someone would be like, well, "Why are they doing this?"
Yeah.
Because it's in the script. There's someone needed to be like, "No, we need an actual reason."
The Rancor stuff is cool, but also it reminds me like, hey, why is everyone fighting over this planet that has like, I don't know, 1,000 of these, and then these get
Yeah.
eaten by other things that are also
Yeah.
eaten by bigger fucking things?
The Tatooine's a fucking horror show.
Why
Yeah.
are we fighting so hard for this shithole?
Although the design of Mos Espa, the city being
Yeah.
in that like Grand Canyon type thing,
Yeah.
I think is awesome.
It's cool.
Like every time you get that establishment shot, I'm like, okay, that's a pretty dope location.
Yeah.
I did not watch this episode, but I did spend a little bit of time thinking about Star Wars this week, surprisingly, because of watching Crimson Tide, which we'll discuss in Patreon.
Yeah.
Hear me out. That newscaster at the start of Crimson Tide that gives you the whole what's happening with
Yeah.
Russia breakdown. If
Yep.
that were a Star Wars opening crawl that ended with the Emperor of the Empire, or the three most powerful people in the galaxy, the Emperor of the Empire, the leader of the rebellion, and the captain of a Death Star. Crimson And it's just like some general in the, Death Star and like arguing with his XO about whether or not they like, but it's going to destroy an entire planet. I mean, like I know people from Alderaan. My college roommate lived in Alderaan.
See, if we fired Alderaan might fire back with their gun, because planets I have those, right?
This is a test, right? Are we sure it destroys the planet?
Les Rancors. It's interesting. They're from Portugal. No, they're from fucking
Spain.
Spain.
So I guess that's a good signal. We should wrap this up. Start talking about Crimson Tide, which we'll do on the Patreon episode, which you can listen to if you become a patron of the show for $1 a week. You get to listen to us talk about a lot of Tony Scott movies, amongst other things, hundreds of episodes. Just go over to patreon.com/tvdudes. Throw us that $1 an episode. Otherwise, we're wrapping things up here.
We're gonna make Randy watch Barbed Wire.
We're definitely not. Thank you, Les. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Nick.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Randy. I'm gonna
Randy.
find an anime of Barbed Wire.
Thank you to our listeners. Thank you to our patrons. And until next time.
That's Stripperella, Les.
TV Dudes out. The TV Dudes is an independently run podcast out of Austin, Texas. We are exclusively listener supported. If you'd like to help us out, go to patreon.com/tvdudes.
You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TV Dudes. All the music for our show is done by our friend and original TV dude Gregory J. Amani Smith.
To find out more about us, go to thetvdudes.com. I'm Randy Lander.
I'm Les Weiler.
And I'm Kyle Scott.
Thanks for listening.